So the culmination of today's program, the semesters, is basically these entrepreneurs will either launch their business, a new business, or it will help them grow their existing businesses, which will ultimately not only have an impact on them, they're empowered, their families are empowered, the community is empowered, and the impact on the city at large is just phenomenal. No, this is our program is very unique. It started from the ground up, where the microfinance program started in 2006 as an academic program with courses, and then as projects we worked on international projects, as most microfinance projects are in the developing world, including started with Mexico and Africa. And then within the U.S., we went with the Navajo Nation and went to the reservations and saw the Native Americans, and we tried to help them. But that was all outside, in Mexico, New Mexico, Utah, Colorado, and so on. And then we realized that there was so much poverty in our own backyard, with 27% of Houstonians living below poverty line and 9% of Houstonians living on less than $2 a day. We decided we were going to first focus totally locally, work in our own backyard, help our underserved and aspiring entrepreneurs, and help the Houston community, Houston economy, and not go anywhere else. We have built an entrepreneurial ecosystem where we collaborate with nonprofits, with other organizations, the corporate world, the foundations. Our program is completely free. It's no cost financial literacy education and business entrepreneurship education provided to underserved entrepreneurs in the city of Houston. We have 2 projects per year, and we move from one neighborhood to the other. We've done it in the 3rd Ward, in the 2nd Ward, at Baker Ripley, Independence Heights, Melby, the Greater East End, and so on.
It's my pleasure to introduce my friend, and the reason that we're here today, the only reason that we're here today, is because of this person right here.
Thank you, Dr. Scanlon. What am I going to say? He said, my friend, you're known by the company you keep, right? So he has to say that. No, he is very kind. I am so humbled and so honored to be here. Good morning to all of you taking out your time out on a Saturday to recognize our graduates, to recognize these students that make it happen. You can do all this stuff, but there are some really key people that make it happen. And Dr. Scanlon has introduced everyone. A couple more people that I would like to recognize is Mr. Shaw from Wells Fargo. They're also one of our big supporters. That the people that really make this program happen are the students, the great support from Dr. Newberry, my friends and Associate Dean in the Dean's office, Dr. Scammell. I mean, he has an open door. Plus, it's 24/7. I can just call him at 7 in the morning and he'll tell me what you need. So, I mean, where can you get an Associate Dean that has a line of communication open, an office door open, that you can just get? So they are my support. My husband, who really puts up with me, my wonderful children, and somebody said, how do you handle stress? Do you take stress baths? I said, yes. He is my stress bath. And if I didn't have that support, there is no way. I'm gone on a Saturday morning, almost more than half the day. Sometimes I'll say, leave me, I'll just take cereal, and I'll see me eating Cheerios, cornflakes, stuff like that. So thank you. I couldn't do it without him. We have a very good friend and somebody who has supported me all these years is my friend, Mr. Bob Casey. Oh. We have other organizations here. We have built an entrepreneurial ecosystem, and we work with nonprofits, we work with corporations, we work with foundations, educational institutions. We have the Houston Furniture Bank here. Mr. Hal Lynn, Executive Director. We have people from the Houston Food Bank. We have Memorial Area Ministries, Skills for Living, Neighborhood Centers, Stella is here. In 2006, when we did the Study Abroad India program, that's when the program really started. At the interest of MBA students. And two of the MBA students, one of them couldn't be here. He's now with his Marathon, he's worked for Marathon Oil. Brian Fraser was in our MBA program, did Study Abroad India with me. Came back and said, can we really start on microfinance? We really want to study and get some courses going. He and Liz Willett. Liz is a West Point Academy graduate. West Point Academy graduate, served in Iraq for 4 years, joined our MBA program, and then Brian and Liz started what we have, the microfinance program today. Brian is now with World Vision International. Liz is now the director of the Houston chapter of USA. And the Kiva Fellowship, worked for Peace Dividend Trust in Afghanistan, and so on and so forth. So as you see, the program has grown over years. How did we land up in Houston? We started originally with her doing the Kiva Fellowship and so on and so forth. We worked with programs in New Mexico, with the Navajo Nation. We went to the Navajo Nation, we went to New Mexico, Utah, and Arizona, and we went on the reservation to work with the Native Americans. The students and I did that. We went to Mexico, went to Africa. But with 27% of poverty right here in Houston, and 9% of Houstonians living on less than $2 a day, it was incumbent upon us to make the program 100% local, 100% inclusive, get everybody included in it, and start with something that is so fundamental to the empowerment of all of us, and that is education. And so what our program does is over 10 to 12 weeks, 48 hours of in-classroom education, starting with financial literacy. We do entrepreneurship education, and that's all done by these Bauer College students. They mentor these entrepreneurs one-on-one, starting right from vetting the business idea all the way to the legal requirements of starting a business, or how do you do an application, what's the business plan, financials. Believe me, even if you get an interest-free loan, even if you're launched on Kiva, there is no way you can be launched unless you have a business plan and financials in order. And therefore, our Bauer College students help these businesses get going. This is a real-world application of the theories that they have learned in the classroom. And that's the result today. So we started this program, which is local, started 3 years ago, and we started with Mission Mulvey at the East End, at the Greater East End, went to Baker Ripley, and then the other locations, as Dr. Scammell pointed out. Well, how does it all work? So once they graduate, then we have got Axion here, ready to empower them with capital. Axion has been another big partner, Mr. Richard Gainey, who has come every semester and who has come and helped these entrepreneurs say, this is the application you need. This is what we need. If you're going to apply for a loan, this is exactly what you need to do. Thank you, Mr. Gainey.
We're going to go off script just a little bit, and my staff gets very nervous when I do that, so I just want to tell you that. What we'll do is we'd like to make a proclamation to the program first, and before I get a chance to talk to y'all, okay? So the mayor asked me, she purposely prepared this for me to give to y'all, and this is, I'm just going to read the first paragraph just briefly. The University of Houston's Bauer College Microfinance Program serves aspiring young entrepreneurs from underserved communities in the Houston area by providing financial and business education and access to capital. It plays an active role in building and supporting the entrepreneurial ecosystem of the city of Houston. This robust and innovative graduate-level program combines classroom research and global microfinance models with direct application into the local community for promoting an expansion of microfinance in Houston. On December 6, 2014, the Bauer College Microfinance Program will celebrate graduation and pitch day. The City of Houston commends and appreciates Dr. Kumwala, who oversees the program, and the University of Houston's Bauer College Microfinance Program for their dedication to Houston's underserved communities. Therefore, I, Denise D. Parker, Mayor of the City of Houston, hereby proclaim December 6, 2014, Bauer College Microfinance Program.
On behalf of Houston City Controller Ronald Green, I extend good morning to all of you and congratulations to the graduates. An entrepreneur, the meaning of entrepreneur is a person who starts a business, who manages and organizes that business and assumes the risk. And graduates, even though you're assuming the risk as new business owners, you're not doing it recklessly. You engaged in the 12-week microfinance program. The first 6 weeks of that program focused on your personal finances, and that might have been a hard process to look at your own finances, but the reason to do that is so you don't put your personal self and your families at risk in starting your business. Going through the hard work of developing the business plan, understanding the industries that your businesses are going to be in, understanding your markets, your competition, and definitely who your customers are going to be. It's as Councilman Castillo mentioned, Houston is a great city, and it's a great time to be starting a business in Houston. Houston is ranked as one of the top cities with growth in self-employment, with a high amount of entrepreneurial activity. We're in the top 10 cities with manufacturing, and we're one of the fastest growing metropolitan areas in the country.
Ask any successful business owner and they will say, it was a risk, but I always knew it would work, and I always knew that I would be successful. Those owners did it. They had no doubt, they visualized themselves succeeding, and they actually did. Some successful owners, and some of you in this room, will experience setbacks and falls, but those setbacks, or I'd rather call setbacks, opportunities. Those opportunities are experiences, and once you take away from those experiences, you will learn from them and grow. I heard that Warren Buffett does not really invest in companies unless they fail twice. And maybe it's a sign of resilience, or maybe it's a sign that they've learned their lesson and will never let it happen again. But just remember that risks and opportunities are part of being a successful entrepreneur.
Never, ever give up. There's no greater feeling to have than when you go through that barrier and you walk through the fire and you've succeeded with your head held high, all your creditors paid, all your people treated fairly. Never, ever give up. Just plow through it. That's the best advice I can give.
I'm just glad to be back home, and I just want to give thanks to the Bauer Finance Program because it has really helped me. It has turned my life around within 1 year. I have gone from one income to four sources of income. And how I did that is study when I was in class. I listened to my instructor, and one thing it taught me in the class was we had to do goals. And the goals were short-term goals and long-term goals. And one of my goals was I wanted to do a home loan modification. And that was my goal by the time I ended the class within 12 weeks. It didn't happen to me during the time that I was in class. You know, I was frustrated when you want to have something done and you want to have your goals completed at a certain time. But I'm here to say today, I got my loan modification, and all through the success of this program, networking, talking to the right people to get the things to happen. I am not an entrepreneur, I am an entrepreneur. I work for Elliott Management Group, which we do credit card processing and POS system.
When I came in as a title, I was a sales representative. Now I have moved to account manager. This is my achievement. This is my achievement in 1 year. I'm the top rep. We have one location here in Houston in the Galleria area, and I manage over 50 accounts now. So what I'm want to give back to you is setting your goals. I've done 50 accounts. My next goal is to be the assistant manager, where I will be helping team leaders to close deals and move into my own office. So that's my next level of achievement of goal. And that's where I want to come back and give to you that you can do it. But you have to believe in yourself. You have to have a strategy plan. You have to think positive. So when you have a negative situation, you turn it into a positive. But anything that you want in life, it doesn't come easy. You have to work with it each and every day.
I raised my hand and got involved. During that 10-week experience, I was able to share with all the participants information about uses and sources of funds. But beyond that, I was able to actually work with 2 specific entrepreneurs, Enrique and Sybil, evolve an idea they have in their head for a great business into a business plan. Beyond that, I was able to experience firsthand the passion, commitment they both had to make this idea a reality, which I greatly enjoyed. Overall, the entire experience has made me greatly appreciative to both Sybil and Enrique for trusting me to be a part of that development of a business plan and letting me just share some information with them. But beyond that, to Dr. Kumwala to create this opportunity for a student like myself to get involved and help and give back. So my hope is that me as an MBA student will serve as an example to other MBA students to get involved, raise their hands, and give back. Thank you, Dr. Kumwala.
After 20 years in the Texas House of Representatives and the Texas Senate, he was first elected to Congress from the 29th Congressional District of Texas in 1992. So prior to that, he was already here, 20 years of that service, and now at the federal level. His big achievements, I cannot tell you. For the 113th Congress, he serves on the Subcommittee on Health, Subcommittee on Energy and Power, Subcommittee on Environment and Economy, and the Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigations. He's a champion of education, champion of labor, hard work. His major achievements, his annual Citizenship Day, his Immunization Day are his footprint. And I can go on, but without further ado.
First of all, I want to thank the College of Business, the Bauer School, for doing this microfinance. I have a district that doesn't include this campus, but it's just across the railroad tracks. It's East End and North Side. And we have any number of small businesses who could benefit from this, and I know have benefited from it. In fact, I've been proud to serve in the state legislature and Congress, but today the most important thing is that I'm a graduate of the College of Business, University of Houston. When I grew up in Northside Houston, I joke I didn't play football well enough to get a scholarship. So I started a small business, and it's still in business, the Daily Court Review, a long-time legal newspaper. And I thought it'd be a college job, but I just wanted to, I was a business major. My girlfriend at that time, and now my wife of almost 45 years, she wanted to be a high school algebra teacher. And University of Houston provided that education for both of us. She taught for 26 years, and my training in business, I worked at that newspaper. I thought it'd be a 4 or 5 year job, but it turned out to be 23 years. And they allowed me to serve in the legislature, go back to law school at night. But I love managing a business because at the end of the day, you have to make that payroll. And whether it's AT&T or Exxon or someone who has 5 employees or 2 employees. And our company at our highest was 13 employees. And so I had the job after I got my undergraduate degree to not only produce a product, but also to make sure all the management issues. And I used to complain to the owners. I said, I know how to produce a product and we can make money, but I'm taking my time away to do the administrative part. which doesn't earn us any money. They said, oh, yes, it does. If you can negotiate our health insurance premiums down, we're doing better. So, but congratulations to the graduates. And again, the sponsors, the financial facilities who do this, thank you for making it possible, because these entrepreneurs are the ones that I represent, and a lot of us represent. I know council that are small businesses in our area and that can grow to be very large businesses with the support. And thank you. Although this wasn't the building that I was here. You know, in fact, some of you probably weren't born when I graduated in 1971. But, so I'd like to present a congressional certificate to the microfinance. Let me get all the paper out of the way. The microfinance program at the Bauer College of Business, University of Houston. In celebration of this graduation ceremony, please come up. Your commitment to encouraging families to achieve financial independence in business to be commended. May this day begin a further achievement in the ideals of citizenship in our community. Congratulations and best of luck in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Now the moment we've all been waiting for. We would like to, we'll be presenting your certificates, which again will be presented by City Controller Ron Green's office of police department for doing that on his behalf. And then, where's Margaret? Yes. And then Capital One has always been a big supporter of us, and so as a result of your hard work and performance in the class, Capital One has awards for businesses that have qualified. So let's start. So our first participant is Claudia Alvarez. Claudia Alvarez, the name of her business is Cornelio. Our next participant is Enrique Arana. And this is Link Transportation. Next we have Eloise Campos, Sweet Peas. Compost, Sweet Ease. Karen Carter, Infinite Hands. Erlinda De Leon. Manisha Gade. Muhammad Ghaffar. Rosa M. Guzman, Rosa's Resolution Recovery. Kismet Boutique. Rachel Herrera, Take the First Step. Phyllis Johnson, Green Concierge Design. Nargis Lakhani, Learning RX. Antoinette Lewis. Martha Martinez. Tina Marie Merritt Jordan. Narwani, Learning RX. Emily Nunez. Sybil Faluna Sainz. Blanquita Ramirez. Ida Reyes, Shoes for All. Erica Rivera, Erica Marie 319 Painting. Monica Balades, Moniva Inspired Creations. Roseline Milani, Cash Car Rental. Roshanara Milani, Cash Car Rental. These are our graduates of the Fall 2014 Micro. Our next business is Studio Signs.
My name is Sybil Polygna Signs. My company is called Studio Signs. It's a boutique creative arts services. We offer graphic design, photography, and videography. We are a startup and we are a home-based business. We plan to launch in mid-2015. It'll be co-owned by myself and my husband, Alejandro Signs Jr. A little bit about myself. I started my creative profession in 2004 when I produced my first television show on Houston Media Source Public Access Channel. It was called Halo Halo TV, and it was about the Filipino community here in Houston. I also got a job with the Houston Press in the production department as a graphic designer, and I moved my way up from graphic designer to production manager within 18 months. Currently, I am working on a communications degree at the University of Houston Clear Lake with a major in digital studies, or media studies. A little bit on my husband. His name is Alex. He likes to go by Alex, but it's really Alejandro. He started in 1997 in the independent film community. He's done commercials and music videos, documentaries. And then in 1999, he got a job with Houston Media Source, where we met, and has been there ever since. He's had different capacities from staff producer, instructor, and now he's the equipment manager. So he's in charge of budgeting and finding the best equipment to use for the producers. He's also produced many different videos, from live events to commercials to documentaries, short films, you name it, he's done it. So he has that experience. A little bit about our services. We do graphic design, and I would be the head of the graphic design. This is an example of an invitation I did for my nephew. It was a Minecraft party themed, and I also designed decorations and CDs for his party giveaways. We also do photography, and both my husband and I are photographers. This is an example of, and it's really dark, but it's a family portrait that I did for a series in school, and it was supposed to depict the type of family and the home that they live in. And I wanted to bring it live, so this also showcases my Photoshop skills. And then lastly is videography, and this is what is going to be the bulk of our business. will specialize in short documentary style video profiles to promote individuals, businesses, and products. An example I have is a video I did on my husband about his recent documentary called B-Boy Battle Houston, and it's about the urban hip-hop culture in Houston. I could play it, but it's a little bit over 3 minutes. Okay, so we are seeking $13,000 in startup funding to invest in new equipment. We are looking towards asking family and friends, do crowdsourcing through either a Kickstarter or GoFundMe or Indiegogo, depending on the project, and microfinancing opportunities. But that would be like a last resort kind of thing. The funding that we are seeking is for equipment. This is an example of, I should use black, it's kind of dark. We want a desktop computer, and this is an example of a Mac Pro, which is the latest Mac out there. The software that goes with it, which is Adobe Creative Suites, definitely Premiere Pro, Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, and all that. And then also a laptop for when we're on location or when we have a deadline, then we can do editing and designing on the go. And then lastly, a digital camera, DSLR kit that includes the lens, the microphone, stabilizer, and everything.
Time.
Okay, well,
All right.
good, because I'm done. Thank you. And here's my contact information, and this is my personal website. The Studio Science website is still being built.
So step one is to see if you can secure the 13,000 to launch,
Yes.
and then you will come back with a detailed business plan that you would take over here to Richard and say, Richard, I need whatever I need. And here's the plan.
Theoretically, right?
Yes. That's the plan.
That's the plan,
Okay, good. Very, very creative.
Thank
Very
you.
impressive. I don't know how many questions to ask on it because that's not my field, but I love the art stuff that you do.
Thank you. Well, there is a business to it. I've worked in different capacities for Houston Media Source, for South Coast Film and Video. I know my competition.
Right. How will you secure your clients, customers? How are you going to market this?
Well, good question. I am part of a couple of networks. One is AIGA, HAA, and those are like the graphic design groups and the Advertising Federation group. I also am part of some groups in school, the Communications Digital Media Studies group. So once everyone graduates, I know someone's going to need a video.
That's right.
But also word of mouth.
Yeah.
Now, will you be involved in the business full-time and your husband part-time, or are you launching to go full-time? How will it be managed? Is it?
At first, it will be just me, and then as soon as we pick up steam, then he would also be involved full-time.
And at what rate are you, as you think about what your capabilities are and what the funding is going to allow you to acquire in terms of equipment and things of that nature, what is your capacity to grow?
Well, we're looking to have at least 5 clients a month for video. With graphic design, I do have a network of friends that also do design work, and if I get too overwhelmed, I can always farm it out to them. So we're looking to grow per year at least 20 video clients, because it'll take about 4 to 6 weeks, but we can work on them simultaneously.
So this total cash receipts through the 12 months, I'm looking at 8,000.
Well, we were very conservative when we were building my business plan because
Okay.
we weren't sure how Brian and I were thinking how much time I was going to actually devote to the company. So they're very conservative projections.
So the more time you can devote to it, theoretically, these numbers go up.
Right.